So as you might know or not know, we live in a time where there are so many Christians, young Christians, that are single and looking to get into a godly relationship. A relationship where they're wanted, cherished, and truly loved for who they are. Well, if you're a Christian girl today, then this is your lucky day, because today we'll be talking about 5 things that Christian guys are looking for in a Christian girl to help you get on the right track of finding that relationship. So the first thing that we're going to talk about when it comes to this is that she is modest. Now, contrary to the culture that we live in, a proper Christian guy will not be looking to immodesty as a sign of beauty. He won't be looking to how much skin does she show for him to find her attractive. Contrary to what the culture find attractive, he is looking for a girl who's modest in the way she dresses, in the way she speaks, in the way she lives. Now, if you think to yourself and you wonder that, you know what, maybe I'm not really practicing modesty like that. It's okay, but you can get on the right track of starting to practice modesty today by the help of the Holy Spirit. I actually did make a video where I talked about this in length, and it will be linked in the description below. Now back to what I was saying. A Christian guy isn't looking to how much skin you can show. A proper Christian guy isn't looking to how much skin you can show to look for beauty. Now, a proper Christian guy, and the Christian guy that you should be after, he will see you for who you are, and he will see your true beauty. And I would encourage you, please don't chase after people who won't see that. Now, the second thing that we're going to be talking about is her relationship with God comes first. Now, this is the most important thing that Christian guys are looking for in a Christian girl. They want to be in a romantic relationship that leads to marriage. You're looking for a girl who puts God, her relationship with God, above all else. Because if God comes first in your life, if your relationship with God comes first, it'll actually pave the way for how you treat others. And actually, this kind of woman is inspiring, and she exhibits love. Why? Because she loves God and she spends time with God, you know? So a Christian guy will actually be looking for a girl who puts her relationship with God first. Now think to yourself, am I putting my relationship with God first? Have I been actively seeking to deepen the discipline in seeking Him? Do I spend time with God? Do I set apart time to do that? Because this is actually going to even serve as a foundation for even the kind of relationship, for even the romantic relationship when it does happen. And so I would encourage you to set that right foundation of actually building your relationship with God. Not just because proper Christian guys are looking for it, but because it's life. So if you've not been practicing that, then I would encourage you, get into it. And if you have been practicing, keep going. Now, thirdly, we're going to talk about she must be willing to be led and served. Now, we live in a feminist culture, where you have so many women that want to be leaders, that want to do this and this and that. And I definitely believe in equality, but I do believe that God instated the biblical role of men leading the family, you know? So maybe the reason that, for example, maybe you were hurt by male leadership, maybe your father or pastor or a boss or anything like that, maybe, or even a past boyfriend or anything of that sort. But just because a certain person or certain people, certain males in leadership who are in position of leadership hurt you, it doesn't mean that all male leadership will hurt you. The biblical role of a man in marriage is that of the head, that of the leader. And actually what leadership means, according to the Bible, is it's serving, it's loving, it's caring for. And a proper Christian man, he will care for you, he will love you, and he will serve you well. That's what leadership means. It's not a dictatorship. It's not being a dictator or being abusive. It's contrary to that. It's laying their life down. And so a woman now who is willing to submit to godly leadership, to leadership that wants to serve her, that wants to love her, and all of that, she will stand out in this culture that we live in. Now, the fourth thing that we're going to be talking about, the Christian guys who are looking at a Christian girl, is she doesn't settle. Now, there's this passage in Songs of Solomon that says, "Daughters of Zion, daughters of Jerusalem, do not awaken love until it pleases. Now, this can mean that do not awaken love until it's time, until the right time has come. Now, there is nothing as attractive as a girl who won't settle for anything less than God's best for her life. And so I would encourage you, maybe you haven't settled, and so if you are in that path, I would say keep going, keep doing that. Because a girl who doesn't settle, even if she has to wait a bit longer, God will reward that. And with time, the Christian guy who actually is willing to pursue her right, who is willing to seek her outright, he will come and he will find her. Also, I just want to give a word of encouragement. I would just say that, as it comes to settling, don't settle, because there are still so many great Christian guys out there. And God does care about the desires of your heart. He really does. And I would encourage you, concern yourself with His desires and let Him concern Himself with your desires. Seek first the kingdom, take your desires, bring them to Him whenever they rise up, continually bring them, and then let Him deal with it. And you do your part, which is to seek to fulfill His desires. And in time, that will come. And so be expectant, not desperate. Pray about it. And most importantly, wait on the Lord. Now, the fifth and last thing that Christian guys are looking for in a Christian girl or a Christian woman is she is not lazy. Now, you've probably read Proverbs 31, and Proverbs 31 is talking about this awesome, amazing woman that, a lot of Christian girls aspire to be. A lot of Christian women should aspire to be like this woman, because there's so many great traits and great characteristics that she has. Now, I just want to lay something out. I just want to throw it out there that you don't need to be perfect. And God doesn't need you to be perfect for Him to bring a relationship to you. But you must be actively growing in your character. You must be actively seeking to do better. I'm not talking about perfectionism. I'm talking about excellence. I'm talking about growing in character. And someone who's willing to grow in character in the way they behave, in the way they treat their lives, the way they manage their finances, in the way they communicate, etc. Someone like that, you're going to stand out in this world. Now, of course, everyone has their preference and what they are attracted to and whatnot. But, Christian guys are looking for someone who's willing to grow. And now let me just give you an example of what I mean by this. Now, say for example, you want a car. What do? You don't have the money for a car yet, and maybe you're saving up and all of this, right? But I would actually advise that one of the first things that you would start with in regards to wanting a car, what do? You start learning to drive. Maybe you get driving lessons, or you get someone to start teaching you, or you arrange something of that sort. What is that? That's a step of faith. In the same way, when it comes to finding a godly relationship, I would say be someone who is willing to actually prepare yourself. You don't need to force yourself to be ready. If it's not time, it's not time. Don't awaken love until it pleases. But prepare yourself and learn to drive. I'm not talking about literally. But I mean, prepare yourself for the relationship. Check the way that you live your life. Is it in a way that would be conducive for a relationship? If not, check some of your habits and try to get better at them. Now, as I said before, everyone has their preferences when it comes to attraction and whatnot. And those things, they depend on the person, and they're not like the foundation. But hopefully these 5 things that I mentioned are practical enough for you to start applying to your life and can serve as a really good baseline for you to prepare yourself for that relationship that the Lord wants to bring into your life. Be expectant, pray about it, and wait on the Lord. Wait, I say. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm actually curious, what do you guys, you girls, think? What do you girls think? What are some of the things that I did miss that Christian guys are looking for, proper ones? And what are some things that you Christian girls are looking for in a Christian guy? I would be very interested in hearing your thoughts. Leave that in the comments down below. Make sure to like, subscribe right over here and watch this video right here, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.